Our topic is about exponents and index laws. Now, what is an exponent? An exponent is a number that indicates how many times a base number is multiplied by itself. Whereas exponentiation is the act of raising a base to a power. It is the mathematical operation where a base is multiplied by itself repeatedly as many times as specified by the exponent to produce a power. Now let's take, for example, the expression x raised to the fourth power. Now the variable x here is what we call the base. And the small number on the upper right of the base is what we call the exponent. Now, the whole expression, x to the fourth, is what we call a power. Now, a power has two components, a base, x, and an exponent, 4. So, the expression x to the fourth is what we call a power. The variable x is the base, and the number 4 is what we call the exponent. Now, I just want to point out that a power is not an exponent. Likewise, an exponent is not a power, because an exponent is just one component of a power, the other being the base. So let's consider this. X raised to the fourth power. The exponent is 4. It says here an exponent is a number that indicates how many times a base number is multiplied by itself. So it means the base x here is to be multiplied by itself 4 times. So that's equal to x times x times x times x. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the base x is to be used as a factor in the multiplication process 4 times. Now, x raised to the fourth power. This is the standard way of reading this expression. We can also read this as x to the fourth power, or x to the fourth, or x to the power of 4. Now, x raised to the fourth power. The common confusion is thinking that 4 is a power, which is not. Because 4 is the exponent, the power is this whole expression, x to the fourth. That's why we also refer to this as a power expression. Now, x raised to the fourth power is a descriptive way of naming this expression because it implies that the base x is to undergo an exponentiation operation as indicated by the exponent resulting in a power. So x raised to the fourth power is the very essence of this definition, which says exponentiation is the act of raising a base to a power. The word act here refers to the operation. It is the mathematical operation where a base is multiplied by itself repeatedly as many times as is specified by the exponent to produce a power. So let me underscore the phrase to produce a power. That means a power is produced once the exponentiation operation has been completed. So therefore, the word power here, in effect, is the end result of that exponentiation operation. So x raised to the fourth power refers to the exponentiation operation where the base x is to be multiplied repeatedly as is specified by the exponent producing a power. Right there. So, the end result of this multiplication process is what we call a power. So that power is specifically called the fourth power of the base x, or simply, specifically, the fourth power of x. Now let's put a value to the base. Let's say 2 to the fourth power. So 2 is the base, 4 is the exponent. So the base 2 is to be multiplied by itself 4 times. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 to the fourth is equal to 2 times 2 is 4 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So the result, 16, is also called a power. Specifically, this is called the fourth power of the base 2. Or simply, specifically, the fourth power of 2. So again, the base is the number being multiplied repeatedly. The exponent tells us how many times to use the base as a factor in the multiplication process. The power is this entire expression here, 2 to the fourth, because a power contains a base and an exponent. Likewise, the result 16, which is the outcome of this exponentiation, is also called a power, specifically the fourth power of 2. So we can say 16 is the fourth power of 2.